Okay, so today we are in Cannock Chase and I'm going to be doing the dog and the monkey trail. What I'll be doing is hopefully taking you through the different sections of the dog and the monkey. Won't be doing a video through all those sections because it takes about 2 hours to do the dog and the monkey, give or take, depending on how fast you want to pedal. But hopefully I'll indicate which are the good sections to look out for. I'll also indicate the big climbs that you've got across Cannock Chase. Okay, so today we're going to park at the main car park at Cannock Chase. It is about, I think it's about £8.50 to actually park here, or you can actually buy a yearly pass, which I do. And obviously money gets back funded into the trail centre itself, so I feel like it's a good thing to do. But there's actually there are some good reasons for parking here. If you park here, there's good access to the toilets, so great for the ladies who want to come here. There's an actual proper toilet. Personally, I like the idea that just round the corner by the shop there is actually a jet wash facility, so you can clean up the bike if you haven't brought along or you don't own one of the battery powered jet washes. But you know, if you don't want to pay the money to come on here, there are lots of free car parks dotted around Cannock Chase. So do a little bit of research. There's definitely one between the dog and the monkey. That's a very popular site, or opposite the Takaroo car park. So there are free options out here, but there are benefits to parking at the main car park. There we go. Follow the dog. So you've got a choice here: Perish Trail, which is a blue route, or follow the dog. Okay, they join up a bit later on. And this first section is actually one of the best. It's recently been updated, so nice little short downhill section. And it goes straight into Stegosaurus, which Stegosaurus is pretty cool. It's a rock garden. It's also one of my favourite sections. A good little tester, really, especially if you're on a manual bike. If you're on an e-bike, it's really easy. But the trick is try and go all the way along here without stopping. You need to just make sure you're in an easy enough gear. And it sounds like I'm not in the right gear. So you've got a choice at this point to either go left to follow the dog or right to Perish Trail. If you go right to Perish Trail, there are some really good sort of rollers that have recently been put in. If you go left, it's quite a boring section now because it's been totally sanitised. So best to cut out this little bit of follow the dog, go onto the Perish Trail. Yeah, you wouldn't want to miss this section, really. Okay, this is one of the first big climbs. It's probably the biggest climb of Cannock Chase. This is Cardiac Hill. So we've now got 3 good downhill sections, starting with high voltage. I think you're legally required to say it in that manner as well. If you want to continue doing the dog, you go to zigzag now, otherwise you do Uncle Arthur. And that brings us off to the Devil's Staircase.
which used to be really good. There used to be lots of steps in this section, but this has been sanitised now, so it's a flowy downhill now. It's quite fun, but it's not what it used to be. Okay, we've done the first section of the dog, and now we've got to cross the road and join the monkey trail across the road. So the monkey trail's across here. We will be joining the dog again, so we're doing a bit of a figure of eight. So this is the start of the monkey trail, and this is Lungbuster, and it is the hardest climb. Not particularly long, but it's got the steepest gradient. So see you up the top. Now after Lungbuster, we've got Tight Squeeze. So there's still a bit of uphill on this, and some nice little bit of downhill. I think the trees that it refers to in the name are actually being chopped down now, so it is less of a tight squeeze. And next we have Rainbow Valley, which is a climb. All good fun, eh? Whilst to take a break from the last hill, I'll talk you through what I believe are the three sort of biggest hills at Cannock. So you've already seen Cardiac Hill, and that's really the biggest hill on the dog. You've also got Kitbag Hill that you've got on the dog that seems to keep going forever. And on the monkey trail, the biggest one I would say is What Goes Up, and that goes on for quite some time to go up to What Goes Up, but there's some great trails after What Goes Up. I guess Cannock Chase is a little bit different to other trail centres like the Forest of Dean. Forest of Dean just tends to be one big hill and all the trails come off it, so you're going up the same hill every time, whereas Cannock Chase is more rolling, so you've got lots of hills as you sort of go through the whole trail centre. And now we've got Over the Rainbow, which it is there's a little bit of downhill in this section, but it's a bit of a mess section. Yeah, not brilliant, it's okay. And next we have Pot of Gold, which is a downhill section and quite fun. So this is followed by a nice gentle sort of climb, so it's not too bad, this climb. What I like Cannock Chase for is that it's about 2 hours to complete the whole circuit if you're going to do the dog and the monkey, and it's a good workout. I know you can go to different trail centres if you're sort of more of a downhill junkie. You know, Forest of Dean might be better, or you might want to go over to Star Cop over at Cannock Chase, which is sort of over that direction. And there's quite a lot of off-piste at Cannock Chase as well, if you know where to find it. But yeah, I do like the dog and monkey, especially when it's dry, just to get a good 2 hour workout. Good for the legs. It's over 10 miles. It's good fun. And after the climb, we have Roller Coaster, which starts off really quite nice and then just turns into a climb. And next we have Deer Skull, which is quite a nice downhill section going through the trees. And next we have Old Father Time, which is an older section that's recently been reopened. So as we finish the short section of Old Father Time, next we have the Original Monkey. So the Original Monkey is probably the most famous trail over at Cannock Chase, of the legitimate trails, I would say. And that's because of the downhill rock gardens, Tom, Dick and Harry. Okay, we'll see those shortly. Right, there is an optional black course called Qualify down there, which is above my pay grade, but I'm going to go down Tom, the first of the rock gardens. There we go, that's Tom. Shortly followed by a bit of Dick. There we go. Lovely conditions today, nice and dry. As you can maybe able to see on the left hand side, Qualify, the black section comes to an end. Well, wraps around there. Okay, and we're shortly coming up to Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. Here we go. That's Tom, Dick and Harry. A lot easier when it's dry, isn't it? And next, we've got the gully, which is still nice because we're going through the trees, and it's always nice to cycle through the trees. And this brings us out to the wood bank, which is pretty much an uphill section, but it's got one interesting feature. Maybe they should have called this tight squeeze with the handlebars of today. Trying to get through here without scratching. I always catch it. Right, before we go into the next section, have you ever played Super Mario Kart, and you've seen a little route on the right hand side and you think, where does that go? Well, this is one of those routes. I've got it on a separate video, but someone has built an amazing tabletop section just down here on the right hand side, about 100 metres. We're going to go in there. Here we go. There was a tree collapse down on here not too long ago. It looks like they might have removed it. This is the hidden section. It's not very long, but it's good fun. Cannock Chase doesn't have anything like this. And there we go, all done. And we turn left here, and then left again, and we're back on the normal trails. And next we have Monkey's Uncle. So now I think the second half of the monkey trail, even though we've had the original monkey section, but the second half is actually better of the monkey trail. Got some better downhills, but it does mean you've got more uphills as well to contend with. Weirdly, I think that's the only drop-off in the entire of Cannock Chase on the regular trails. Weird that, isn't it? And next we have a relatively short section called Absinthe. Pretty much a climb. And out of Absinthe, which was a climb, we go into what goes up, which is one of the big 3 climbs. So this is a fun one. See you at the top. After that lovely climb, we are now on to the last 3 sections of the monkey trail, starting with Snap It. That flows into Upper Cliff, then we've got another climb, and then we've got Lower Cliff. So now the fun starts. So here we go, Snap It. Get the seat down. And here we go into Upper Cliff. Okay, final climb on the monkey. This is Insidious Incline, which is short but very sharp. Okay. And finally, we have Lower Cliff. Which is probably the best downhill of the whole monkey, well, and of the dog combined, to be honest. It's a bit rutty these days though. Could do with a little bit of a makeover. And this brings us to the end of the monkey trail. Okay, across the bridge. There we go. And this is the end. So what we have to do now is go across the road once again to join up with the dog. Okay, back across the road. Alright, as we go back over to the dog, we go across the railway line. And a bit of trivia, and the train goes past as I say that. So we have a nice climb now, okay, and the climb is called Kitbag Hill. Okay, Kitbag Hill. And the reason it gets the name Kitbag Hill is because during the Second World War, there used to be an army camp just over the top. And the train station we've just passed effectively all the squaddies used to get off here, used to carry their bags all the way up this hill, and that's why it's called Kitbag Hill. It's also quite a climb as well. It's all good fun. Okay, we're still climbing on Kitbag Hill, but if you're only doing the dog, this is where Zig-Zag sort of joins on to Kitbag Hill, and you do the loop round. Okay, out of Kitbag Hill, and we've got Ogre the Hill, which sounds more scary, but it really isn't, because there isn't much more of the hill to actually climb now. It's a nice gentle ride, this one. And here we have Lateral Flow, another short section like Ogre the Hill. Okay, next we've got Bomb Hole. Bit of a little short downhill section. Used to be lovely in the trees. There's still a few little trees around, but this is mainly being felled now, so it's sort of lost its old appeal. There's a nice few rock gardens. Go down. Can't go too fast because you'll hit the top of the burn at the bottom. It says this is a black on the left. It really isn't. It's just another rock garden. Followed by some steps at the very bottom. Back in the trees with Billy Goat's Gruff. Okay, a little bit of a climb in this, but not massive. Yeah, that Billy Goat's Gruff was a bit longer than I remembered, and now we're on to Time for a Brew, which is just a connecting section, not much to this one. Okay, out of the short section, Time for a Brew, we're into Evil Slab, which, as you can see, has been decimated by the loggers recently. Very windswept. Yeah, it used to be lovely, this bit did, but now it just seems so barren. But at least it's open again, so that's quite nice. Okay, after Evil Slab, we've got another road crossing. Okay, we get into the end section really of the dog. I'm not even sure this little section does have a name. I'll keep an eye out. Through the trees, a bit of an up and down. Just says red difficult. It's not really. Short in and out, and you're into the Takaroo car, the caravan and tent area. There are slimmer pickings with regards to good trails over on the dog, but this is son of a chain slapper. I think this is the best. It's a great laugh, this one is. Not particularly long, but it's good fun. And we go into Snow White, into the trees. Hi guys. And we flow into the Seven Dwarfs. Nice short twisty turny one. Pain in the hardtail. Little bit of an uphill section here, then it heads right into the forest again. And here we have Let Loose after Pain in the Hardtail. So last little bit of climb into the trees. Let Loose. Crazy for You, isn't it? It's their big song. Yeah. We're in Let Loose, and there's an optional black. It's not really a black, it just goes through these trees here. Bit of a rock garden, and down another rock garden, another rock garden, and another one. It's quite fun really. Snake Snadders, which has got a nice little rock garden to start with, which is quite nice. It's got another rock garden coming up, And I think that's about it for the features on Snakes and Adders. Here we go. Are we there? Are we there yet? Which, if you've started in the main car park, indicates you are coming to the end of the dog at the moment. Nice little short one through the trees. And we're back to the main car park and the trail centre. We've got another road crossing here. So toilets are on the left hand side, nice cafe as well. Always finish your ride with a Go Ape session. But over there in the corner is the shop, and so if you want to jet wash your bike, that's where to do it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was just a short, sharp, I guess, take on the different sections within Cannock Chase. So we've got the dog and the monkey. See you again soon.